Bhanushri, Bhanushri,
Yes, sir.
can you see the screen and audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 32 members already joined. Shall I start? Bhanushri,
Yes, sir.
the screen is visible, enough.
Yes, sir.
Video is, you can see the video, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. All of you, please see the video. The lathe operations. That is the first chapter in fifth module. Bhanushri, if you have any problem with seeing this video, you call me immediately. All of you see, this is the facing operation carried out in a lathe. So facing means making the perpendicular surface to the axis of the workpiece.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yeah. Banu?
Sir, ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ತೀಯ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಹಾ. ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳು ಬೇಗ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಹಾ. Those who are came late, please all of you listen and see the operations performed in a lathe. This is facing operation, that is nothing but removing the metal perpendicular to the surface of the axis of the workpiece or perpendicular to the axis of the lathe. Banushree, the video is visible, you know?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. This is plane turning, that is making uniform cylindrical surface on the workpiece. Plane turning. Also, it's called only turning. The operator using box spanner for tightening the bolts on the tool post. Groove cutting. This is called groove cutting.
Excuse me, sir.
ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ.
Sir, join ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆದ್ರಾ? ತಳ್ಳು. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿ? ಏನ್ ಗಮ್ಮಿದೆ? ಮನೇಲಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ. So all of observe here. Say the operator fixing the V tool. It is called V tool or single point cutting tool, wheel tool, fixing on the tool post by using box spanner. And now he cut the He's cutting the groove. The groove may be V groove, U groove. He's cutting the groove on the workpiece. All of you, please enter your USN and name in the chat box. See, he is showing the knurling tool. The knurling tool contains two hard rollers. See, all of you observe here, two hard rollers. By pressing this against the rotation of the workpiece, which produces grooves, that is knurling on the workpiece. That is nothing but, all of you seen the handle, and the handle you have a grip, the diamond cut, straight cut, and angular cut on the handle of the tool. So that is made by using knurling tool. All of you observe here. The knurling tool has two rollers which produces grooves on the workpiece. All of you observe here. This is very, very important. That is called knurling operation. See, all of you observe here. Usually, the knurling operation is carried out at 40 RPM. Which the knurling tool cut the groove on the workpiece. That is the groove in the shape of diamond shape, straight, angular.
Sir? Sir, join ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? ಹೇಳು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಗ. ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆದ್ರಾ? Once again, all of you go through the different operations performed on lathe one by one. All of you, please write down module 5, lathe operations, LATHE, lathe operations. This is the first operation, that is the facing operation, that is making the perpendicular surface to the axis of the workpiece. This is called facing operation. Now, unfortunately, we don't have offline class. Suppose if you have the offline class, I can take you to the machine shop. Our machine shop, we have 20 lathes. I can make you to work on the lathe and cut the different operations. You can perform different operations on the workpiece in the lathe. Unfortunately, we don't have offline class, offline lab. So just go through the video and understand the operations performed on lathe. Now the operator making the uniform surface on the workpiece, that is cylindrical cutting or plane turning, making plane surface on the workpiece. This is called turning, plane turning. Tomorrow, all of you keep 200 pages king size notebook, pen, pencil, eraser, scale, compass, protractor. You have to write the diagram of different operations performed on lathe in the examination. Say, don't think that you are all promoted to the next semester. So if you take any competitive examination, you have 10% of the questions are coming from lathe operations. If you take IAS, IPS or any competitive exam, there you have to write the descriptive explanation of the different operations performed on lathe. So now the operator cut the groove on the workpiece, making V groove, U groove on the workpiece. That is groove cutting. See, all of you observe here, this is called knurling tool. All of you seen in the tool, the handle which has the rough surface or rough groove made by knurling tool. The knurling tool has two rollers which has the grooves. That grooves are reproduced on a workpiece by pressing the knurling tool against the rotation of the workpiece, which produces the impression of the groove on the workpiece. Usually, this operation is carried at low speed of 40 RPM, and this is a very, very important to produce the groove on the workpiece. All of observe here how he is carrying out the groove on the workpiece. ನಾ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಮಿಷಿನ್ ಶಾಪಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಈಗೂ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಿಂಚಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಶಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Anybody in your class interested to carry out these operations on lathe on the workpiece, please come to the college and work in the lathe. We have more than 20 lathes, automatic lathe, manual lathe, CNC, computer, numerical control, all those things. See, all of you see the groove produced on the workpiece. See how the grooves are made on the workpiece.
In straight turning, the tool is fed parallel to the axis of the work to reduce its diameter so that the final diameter is the same at each end. Removing a significant amount of material in one pass is called rough turning. The final lighter cut that creates a smooth surface finish is called finish turning. Taper turning produces a taper along the axis of the workpiece. Tapers are produced by offsetting the tailstock from center line or by using a taper attachment. Short, steep tapers can be turned using a compound rest. Contour turning or profiling was formed.
So all of observe contour turning or rough form turning.
Trace a template of the desired profile shape. This has largely been replaced by CNC turning, in which the desired contour is simply programmed into the machine, which directs a cutting tool to cut the contour. Forming is another alternative for generating complicated shapes. The tool having the desired form or geometry is advanced perpendicular to the axis of rotation, reproducing the tool shape in the workpiece. Forming is commonly performed on automatic screw machines. Chamfering eliminates sharp corners from a workpiece and is a good safety measure. Typically, chamfering breaks corners at a 45-degree angle. Grooving creates a groove or recess using a tool that is usually the size and shape of the required groove. Some grooving tools can also widen a groove by traversing side to side after plunging into the workpiece.
All of you see the lathe. You have seen the different operations performed in the lathe. Banushri, can you see and visible and the audible? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. First you write down lathe. First you write down lathe. Before that, write module 5, lathe operations. As per your syllabus, you have only explanation of operations performed on lathe. You just understand the machine tool called lathe. The lathe, which has, this is the complete portion which houses gearbox, feeding mechanism, motor, and other items in the left side of the lathe. The complete assembly is called headstock. All of you listen here and observe here. This is very, very important. The headstock, which houses gearbox, feed mechanism, and motor. The motor is directly connected to the spindle. Spindle has the 4-jaw chuck or 3-jaw chuck. See, the chuck means this is the work holding device. In that you can fix the workpiece. There will be 4 jaws or 3 jaws, and you have complete automatic movement, or you can control manually. That's possible. The headstock has all the controls: the gear mechanism, gearbox, feed mechanism, feed box, screw jaw, lead screw, feed box. This is called headstock. And this is the tailstock. Remember, there will be 2 partitions. One is headstock, other one is tailstock, which has the tailstock, which is called dead center, and this is called live center. You receive the drive from the motor. For that reason, it is called live center. This is dead center. Also, it is called the tailstock end. This end only supports the workpiece. Here you don't have any drive or any spindle. Only the tailstock supports the workpiece. And this is the complete assembly of tool post and lead screw, automatic movement screw, handle. This is called carriage. Remember, headstock, tailstock, carriage. 3 parts are very, very important. And the complete assembly placed on the heavy cast iron base, that is called what is that? Bed of the lathe. Remember, the bed of the lathe made of cast iron, heavy cast iron, that is called bed, on which you have the headstock, tailstock, carriage. Carriage houses tool post, feed mechanism, and the operation apron and all those things. This is the feed screw and this is the lead screw, which are very, very important for machining operation. If you need the automatic movement of the carriage, you require feed rod and also the lead screw. This is the diagram of the lathe. Remember, in your lifetime, the universal machine tool means lathe. Lathe is also called as universal machine tool. All the operations, more than 2,500 operations can be performed by using lathe. Remember, in your lifetime, the lathe is called universal machine tool. All the operations, you name it, you can cut it in the lathe. Any operation you can perform on the lathe. Impossible means no operations are possible in lathe. All the operations, any operations, you name it, that you can perform by using lathe. For that reason, lathe is called universal machine tool, or mother of all the machine tools. Mother of all the machine tools, or lathe is called universal machine tool. Universal machine tool. Remember, you may have the question in the competitive examination. In the question will be like this: the universal machine tool dash. You have 4 answers: lathe, milling machine, drilling machine, grinding machine. The answer is lathe. Lathe is called mother of all the machines, or universal machine tool. You can perform more than 2,500 operations. You can perform more than 2,500 operations on the lathe is possible. For that reason, the lathe is called universal machine tool. And also, the lathe is also called as mother of all the machine tools. Okay, now I stop at this stage. I will continue tomorrow 9:20. Now all of you please enter your USN and name in the chat box and answer roll call. Answer roll call. All of you unmute yourself. Samarth, Syed,
Present, sir.
Manikya,
Present, sir.
Vishwas,
Present, sir.
Shreya,
Present, sir.
Vachana,
Present, sir.
Prajna,
Present, sir.
Vinayashri,
Present, sir.
Shraddha,
Present, sir.
Sanjana,
Present, sir.
Vaishnavi,
Present, sir.
Deepti,
Present, sir.
Mohammed, Sahil, Suchitra, Shreya,
Present, sir.
Shreya,
Present, sir.
Manya,
Present, sir.
Ruchita,
Present, sir.
Kushi,
Present, sir.
Amruta,
Present, sir.
Vinit,
Present, sir.
Shivansh,
Yes, sir.
Spandana, Banushri,
Present, sir.
Biba,
Present, sir.
Samarth, Sneha,
Present, sir.
Siri,
Present, sir.
Suhas,
Present, sir.
Yashaswini,
Present, sir.
Rukmini,
Present.
Vanyashri,
Present, sir.
Pooja R,
Present, sir.
Shivansh Verma,
Present, sir.
Krupa,
Present, sir.
Shravya,
Present, sir.
Anushri,
Present, sir.
Surya,
Present, sir.
Vinit, Shriyom, Pooja,
Present, sir.
Shrijan,
Present, sir.
Shivansh,
Present, sir.
Deepti, Zikriya,
Present, sir.
Sakshi,
Present, sir.
Yatindra,
Present, sir.
Sufyan,
Present, sir.
Mohammed Sahil,
Present, sir.
Samarth.
Present, sir.
Okay. Now, anybody else? Anybody else? Please tell me your name. Okay.
Shivansh, sir.
Shivansh, okay. Next.
Okay, sir.
Next. Anybody else?
Jason.
Jason. Jason. Okay. Next. Next. Anybody else? Okay, now I stop at this stage. I will continue in the next class.